Hi, so if you could just read out the tweet and just give me your initial reaction to it and thoughts.
Okay, so this is a tweet by the US Air Force. The Taliban forces in Far City, hashtag Afghanistan, would much rather have heard hashtag Yanni or hashtag Laurel than the deafening hashtag Bert they got, courtesy of our hashtag A10. Okay, so initial reaction. This is clearly a tweet sent out by the US Air Force's official site. So there's a green verified tick beside it. So, it is the real deal. It is an official site. Um, it seems to me that they are almost belittling or trying to humorise the fact that, they have basically dropped bombs and killed, probably hundreds to thousands of innocent civilians. For some reason, they're trying to be humorous, whether that's to try and gain attention, I'm not really sure. It seems like highly unethical, highly inappropriate. And yeah, that's, I suppose, my initial thoughts on the matter.
Lovely, thanks.
Yeah, it's a weird video. I get what they were going for. It seems I get the joke, but I can see why that would be really, really offensive to viewers whose parents or maybe husbands or children even commit suicide in that way. You can really see it in his eyes that he's like suicidal, and I feel like the punchline is funny objectively, but like this man is trying to kill himself, and that should really not be joked about, to be honest, by the looks of things. Yeah, I'd say this is definitely crossing the line of humour and into just plain offensive, and they really, really should not have let this air.
In my opinion, humour can be very effective in advertising. However, when it goes wrong, it can bring down the sales of a company, take away from their brand image, and decline their customer base, especially those loyal customers to the brand. They might see the brand in a different light. A couple of brands in recent years that have been effective in producing humour and advertising have been Tree Mobile. They had an advert, for example, with a donkey dancing on a hill. Had nothing to do with their product or services, but captured the audience. Another brand was Cadbury's. A couple of years ago, they had a couple of ads laid out. One was a gorilla on drums. The other one was two kids with the music in the background doing some funny faces with their eyebrows, etc. Just stupid stuff that captured an audience and got people talking online and people to view the ad, and constantly the brand name was being pushed out there throughout these different platforms. On the other hand, if a company has poor relations with their consumer base and they release a marketing promotion through social media, an advert or a post online or whatever, it might be out of line with their brand image. The customers might see that they don't represent what they've published, and sometimes they can find themselves receiving huge backlash from these posts. An example would be what we talked about in the essay was Huckleberries releasing a post online about a new donut called Type 2 in relation to a type of diabetes. Had backlash from people who had diabetes, people who had family members with it, etc. Just it didn't go down well. They had to release a statement publishing saying that they were sorry. Or one person finds something funny, another person might find it offensive. Backlash to an advert containing humour can spread quickly through social media platforms. You can create a group. I've seen another example, Sandwich Bar in Cork. There's Facebook pages set up as lobby groups to boycott this shop in particular, not to go in there but purchase their products, etc. And soon after the company closed down. Best advice I would say for any brand would be to stay out of current affairs such as wars, criminal cases. I know bigger brands such as Nike and stuff have done this, but they have the money to do so. Local brands and smaller brands maybe not so. Don't single out any proportion of society to pick on, because that group of society, you're not only excluding them, people who are in the same group, social groups as those, and that collaboration between those people will have detrimental impact on sales, etc.
Are you aware of how big tech firms such as YouTube or Facebook use your data? Do you know how to control the use of your data when you're visiting these apps or sites? It's fairly easy. You can just manage your cookies or just be aware of what you're accepting when you're using these apps or visiting these websites. Do you find sometimes the ads on these platforms tend to be unethical, just to pique interest or publicity for a brand or product? A lot of times this comes in the form of poor humour. How can we combat this? Would you think humour in industries such as gambling or alcohol are exploiting their consumers based on their interest? Whether this be young lads and their interest in sport, in the gambling industry, or this be the alcohol and it portraying this fun, bubbly persona that you may have when you are on it, but also may cause many addiction for the people who are watching these ads. That's just something to consider.